Hey guys, Zodiac here and welcome to a new Airlines Manager video. This video comes at the request of a member of World United, my alliance. I was requested to do a comparison of the A320 family. So for this one I ran a simulation flight between Addis Ababa and Maputo. That's ADD and MPM. I ran all 9 variants of the A320 family, and I then put all my results into this spreadsheet. I ran this simulation twice. The first one I did was on a full economy run, so I maximized every economy seat. On the second run though, I reduced the economy seating to allow me to run it with one cargo, just to demonstrate how reducing your economy numbers and putting that one cargo in will actually bring you in more money. So if I take the A318 as an example of this, and I think it's similar-ish numbers across the board, I had to reduce the number of economy seats by 10 to allow me to run the one cargo, because it doesn't have the payload to run the cargo at maximum economy seats. So for this, as you can see, I was about $12,000 out of pocket on my ticket sales, but I was $27,000 in extra profit on the ancillary revenues. I think there were some minor fuel differences somewhere. Or am I thinking of something different? Ah, there we go. Yeah, so the A320-200 used up slightly more fuel. That's just because of how the payload works on the fuel cost. So there was a slight deviation in the fuel cost as well. But at the end here, you can see running reduced pax numbers with the extra cargo was bringing in somewhere between $14,000 and $26,000 extra. So this was a 12-hour flight, so that's twice a day that this would have been running. So if I was running the 321neo LRs, I'd be gaining $50,000 a day, and if I was to have, I think I'd need about 5 or 6 of these aircraft, so you're looking at about $300,000 extra per day, just by running that one cargo with 10 less packs. And $300,000 on one day in extra profit, that's quite substantial amount. So then across weeks and months, and that significantly stacks up. I did also run an Illusion, an IL-96-300, but I only did this with the 10 cargo because with maximum economy seating you still have payload for the 10 cargo, whereas obviously with maximum economy seating you don't have the payload in the 320 family to run the extra cargo, hence why we had to reduce the numbers for this. So for comparison sakes, I did have it across the bottom there. But these numbers are obviously, it's difficult to compare any of these numbers because, they've all got a different number of passengers that they're actually carrying. So of course your result is going to differ because you're carrying more people. So what I have done is I've then created this. I've done a comparison that takes your profits and then you divide it by the number of passengers that you've actually taken. This way we have a much more accurate comparison. So it is a result per seat. I've put the result per seat down the left here. As you can see, the Illusion comes out on top with that. And then the older aircraft do come close-ish. The A320-200 is not too far behind it at all, and then the 318, 319s are up there as well. But I then divided that by the original cost of the aircraft. So each flight I'm getting 0.56% of the original cost of the aircraft. I then showed this across without cargo and with the one cargo. So as you can see, I'm getting 0.58% of the value of aircraft per flight, and this is where you can see that the Ilyushin is massively ahead, because percentage wise of the initial cost of the aircraft is quite significant. Right, I then listed these in order. I ignored the Ilyushin after this point. I did demonstrate the maintenance and that, which I'll go through later as well, but when it comes to the actual lists, I only stuck with the A300, A320 family even. So this result was exactly the same regardless of whether you have, the order is exactly the same regardless of whether you have cargo or not. Nothing changes around by having that extra cargo in with regards to their ordering. But obviously, as you can see, the result percentage does go up across the board with having that extra cargo in there. So the most profitable, just straight off the bat profitability, the A320-200 comes out on top, followed by the 321, the 319, the 318, the 319 LR, the 321 Neo, the LR variant, the 320 Neo, and the 319 Neo. I then left these aircraft to run this route. I cannot remember exactly how many flights they did, but they have all done the exact same number of flights for this comparison. Obviously this is where the Neos come in, because they have a much lower wear rating, which meant that when it came to actually looking at how much their maintenance cost after that number of flights, their maintenance costs were relatively lower in comparison. Of course, because your maintenance costs are also based on the initial cost of the aircraft, because the Neos cost more to purchase in the first place, that then brings them back closer into range of the older aircraft as well when it comes to maintenance costs. So I took the list of the amount of maintenance costs, and I also divided them by the number of seats that they offer. That gave us a more accurate comparison towards each other. Again, as you can see, the Ilyushin is a lot cheaper per seat to maintain, and that's both A-check and D-check. But again, I ignored the Ilyushin when it came to writing them out. A-check per seat, this is where the Neos did quite well. So the 321 Neo and the LR variant are at the top there. The A318, the 320 Neo, the 319 Neo, 321, 319, the LR 319, and the 320-200 were there. For the D checks, it did swap up a little bit. The 321 at the top there, 321 Neo, the LR variant, 318, 320, 319, 320 Neo, 319 LR, and the 319 Neo in that order. The reason why I separated out the A checks and the D checks is because in professional mode, the most efficient maintenance schedule is running an A check only system, and for tycoon mode, the most efficient way is to run a D check only system. So this is where I then split them out for a professional conclusion and a tycoon conclusion. But what I did after this then was I did a little ratio, so an A check ratio and a D check ratio of how much your maintenance costed per seat to how much result you're getting per seat. This was just to give us a nice number to like a ratio and put us in a good order of profitability. So the higher this number was, the better the profitability is, because you're earning more. The more you earn per seat, and the least that you spend out per seat on maintenance obviously will give you a higher number, so overall gives you a higher profitability. As you can see here, the Aleutian miles clear, especially on the A check only, so in professional mode this will be even better than the Tycoon mode, but in Tycoon it still beats the entire A320 family for profitability ratio. But in order just with the A320 family, the A check wise, A318 came out on top, the A321neo followed by the LR variant, the 320neo, the 319neo, 321-200, 319-100, the LR variant, and then finally the A320-200. For D checks, the older wins out on this one. So the A321, A320, A318, A319 were at the top 4. A321neo followed by the A319LR, the 321neo LR, and then the 320neo and the 319neo. So overall then, what I did was I ranked the most profitable aircraft from 1 to 9. I then ranked the cheapest to maintain 1 to 9 in the orders they are, and the ratios result to maintenance 1 to 9 as well, and then the lower the scoring, the higher they feature on my overall conclusion. So for professional ones, I took the 1 to 9 from there, and then I used the A check ones. So for professional mode, the highest I recommend is the A318-100, followed by the A321neo, the LR variant behind that, the 321-200, the 320neo, 319-100, the 320-200, the 319neo, and then the 319-100LR in that order. So, for professional mode, there's not a massive difference really between the lot of them. The Neos definitely come back into the mix in professional mode. Again, the A318 will bring you in slightly more, but if you're wanting to keep the modern fleet and not use the older aircraft, then you're going to want to look at the 321neo and the 321neo LR if you need the extra range. However, for Tycoon, it's the old aircraft that run riot. As you can see in the top 4, it's all the older variants. The only one not up there is the 319-100LR, but again on that one you're paying for the range, not necessarily the capacity. So for Tycoon mode, the 321-200 and the A320-200, both of these were really close to each other across the board. As you can see, the 320-200 comes out on top for just pure profitability, but it does drop behind the 321 when it comes to D-check maintenance, which is why I've put the 321-200 just above it. The 318 and the 319, again, 3rd and 4th, not far behind that. If you are wanting to play with a bit more realism in Tycoon mode, then you are going to be looking at the 321neo as your go-to option. And then the LR variant if you require. The 320neo and the 319neo, you're paying out a lot more than what you need to be for those. And again, the 319-100LR, again, you're paying for the range, not necessarily the profitability of it. So they're the 4 that I would recommend using. If you are wanting the modern fleet, the 321neo is the one to go for. So if you notice on the side here, I have added, this is the number of flights it would take to recover the cost of the aircraft. This is before maintenance, so if you were to carry out no maintenance whatsoever on your aircraft, obviously you're going to end up having incidents on your aircraft in doing so anyway, but regarding if you were to disregard maintenance, as you can see here, I've got a list with full eco and then the list with eco plus the 1 cargo. and across the board you will recover the cost of your aircraft with less flights if you were to have that one cargo. And that varies somewhere between like 3 flights and I think it's 8 or 9 in some of them cases. That's an 8 there. There's an 8 there as well. So yeah, if you are in it for pure profitability, then you want to go for the older aircraft and run it with the one cargo. Obviously, if you want the most profitability, you run an Aleutian, not an A320 family aircraft. But anyway, that is the end of this video. I hope that's been educational for you guys. I am doing another comparison video coming up soon. That one I'm going to be comparing the Airbus A380 against the 747-8, the 747-400 and the 747-300. And I might chuck in the Aleutian into that as well, just to show the profitability of that. But anyway, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to hit that like button if you have enjoyed that video. Hit the subscribe button if you want to get notifications on any future videos. Those of you who are in my alliance, please feel free to hit me up on Discord if you have any requests for videos, and I will do my best to either answer you there and then if it's a simple like thing that you want me to explain, or if it is something that I feel will be beneficial to the entire alliance, then I will create a video for it. But thanks for watching, guys, and I will catch you again next time. Goodbye.